Hello students, today we are going to discuss about the new topic, that is the structure of bacterial cell. So as we know that what is the characteristics of bacteria, and after that you should know the brief introduction about that, how the bacterial cell is performs, or what are the different parts of bacterial cell with its function. So, as we know that this is a typical diagram of bacterial cell which includes the different parts. So, as we know that first part, that is called as first one is called as, and the first part is called as here the cell wall. Here cell wall. Second one is capsule. Then the third one is the plasma membrane. Fourth one is cytoplasm. Fifth, pili. Sixth, plasmid. Here it includes 70s ribosomes, and here next one is nucleus or nucleolus, that is chromosomal DNA, that is 7 part. 8 part, that is basal body, and 9 part, last one is called as the flagellum. So the cell wall, then capsule, plasma membrane, then cytoplasm, pili, plasmid, nucleolus, basal body, flagellum, capsule, these all are the different parts of bacterial cell. So let us see the function or the structure of each and every part of that bacterial cell. So first we discuss here the introduction of that bacterial cell, then cell morphology as we discussed in previous lecture. Then the structure of bacterial cell, it includes the different parts, that is cell wall, plasma membrane, extracellular, that is external structure or external parts, and internal structure or intracellular parts. So first of all, as we know that the introduction, we already discussed the introduction of bacteria or bacterial cell wall here. So as we know that all bacteria are unicellular organism that reproduced by binary fission, that we already discussed in later. Next characteristic as we discussed, that is the bacteria are independently grow. Next one is bacteria are very smaller in size and which is measured in micrometer or micron. Then next one, the bacterial cells are usually, the size ranges from 0.4 to 1.5 micrometer. Next, the cell morphology as we discussed in previous, which having a different shape, that is the spherical shape, rod shape, or comma shape, that is called as an vibrio or spirillum shape here. So as we know that we discussed in previous lecture, coccus, that is called as the spherical shaped bacterial cell, bacillus, that is rod shaped cell, then streptococci, that is spherical shaped cells arranged in chains. Next one, diplococci, that is two spherical bacterial cell remains in pairs. And last one is the spirochete, that is the spiral shaped bacteria which having the short curve at a certain intervals. So these are the some shape of that bacteria as we discussed. Next, the most important part, that is what is the structure of bacterial cell. So the first part is called as the protoplast, that is the whole body of living material, that is called as a protoplasm, is bounded by a thin, elastic and semi-permeable cytoplasmic membrane. Here all that protoplastic material which is present inside the bacterial cell. Next one is cell wall. So as we know that the cell wall here, the cell wall, first one is called as a cell wall. Here as we know that the cell wall which is present just outside the cytoplasmic membrane. Here the yellow colored indicate the cell wall, the presence of cell wall. So what is the function of the cell wall? The cell wall which is responsible for to giving the definite shape to the bacterial cell. Next one, the cell wall which is present just outside the cytoplasmic membrane. Here is having the 10 to 25 nanometer in thick. Then it is strong, relatively rigid, though with some elasticity. That means the same cell wall is elastic in nature, which is openly porous, being freely permeable. That means the different solute molecules that are transferred through that cell wall. It is smaller than 10 kDa in mass and 1 nanometer in diameter. It shows the granular structure and lack of microfibrils. Then as we know that the cell wall which having the gram positive and gram negative bacteria, which having a different type of bacterial cell wall. That means the structure of cell wall mostly here it indicates here the gram positive cell wall. The gram positive cell wall is relatively thick, which is about 30 to 100 nanometer in size, and generally it is appearance is uniform in nature because thickness in it is very thick, so uniform band of cell wall is observed under the electron microscope. Next, near about 40 to 80% of wall or cell wall is made up of the tough polymer called as an peptidoglycan. So peptidoglycan is a substance which included in cell wall. Near about 40 to 80% peptidoglycan is present in the cell wall of gram positive bacteria. In this type of cell wall, the sacculus consists of multi-layered peptidoglycan. That means the layers of peptidoglycans is present in cell wall, which is mostly observed during the growth. So this is about the gram positive cell wall. Next, about this, that covalently bound to the peptidoglycan are compounds such as teichoic acids. That means the peptidoglycan is nothing but the teichoic acids. Typically substituted polymers glycerol phosphate or ribitol phosphate. That means whatever the peptidoglycan which is present in gram positive or cell wall of gram positive bacteria, so which is also made up of this small polymer called as an glycerol phosphate or ribitol phosphate. In some bacteria, the cell wall contains the different lipids, while in other strain of streptococcus it contains the carbohydrates. But near about most of the bacteria, cell wall is composed of the lipids. The composition of the cell wall can vary with the condition or growth conditions. For example, in bacillus, the availability of phosphate affect the amount of cell wall teichoic acid. Here the cell wall of gram positive bacteria, here it indicates the peptidoglycans present, which is made up of the teichoic acids. Then here the teichoic acids are present. Then the protein molecules is also present. Here the cytoplasmic membrane is also present just inside the or just beneath or just below the cell wall. The next one is gram negative cell wall. The cell wall of gram negative bacteria are more chemically complex, which is thinner and less compact. That means the thinner, as we discussed, in gram positive bacteria cell wall is thick, but in case of gram negative bacteria cell wall is thin. Then in case of that gram negative bacteria, peptidoglycan is present, but it is in smaller amount, that is 5 to 20%. Next one, that peptidoglycan of gram negative bacteria is located between the plasma membrane and the outer LPS membrane. This LPS membrane is similar to the plasma membrane, but it is less permeable and is composed of lipopolysaccharides, that is lipids and polysaccharides. Here the structure of that gram negative bacteria, here lipopolysaccharides is present. The next one is lipoprotein is also present here. Okay, the next one is there the plasma membrane. So this is a typical structure of gram negative cell wall here. Next one is plasma membrane. So as we know that plasma membrane is the structure which is present just below the cell wall, and that plasma membrane, which is composed of the phospholipids, that is phosphoric acid and lipids, it contains the polar group attached to the 3 carbon glycerol backbone. There are also 2 fatty acids chain ranging from the outer carbon of glycerol. Then that fatty acids, that is that phosphate end of the molecule is hydrophilic and attracted towards the water. The fatty acids are hydrophobic in nature. Membrane of or cell plasma membrane, it also contains the proteins. Typically 20 to 30% membrane, most of them are placed in the membrane so that it is associated, or that acid associated with the lipids in the membrane and the hydrophilic amino acids at the membrane interacting with either with cytoplasm. So that means what? Near about 20 to 30% cytoplasm or 20 to 30% membrane is contains the lipids. That means 20 to 30% of that plasma membrane is occupied by the lipids, which contain the small amount of amino acids. Then what is the function of that plasma membrane? So as we know that plasma membrane is a permeable or mostly semi-permeable in nature, which helps to control what moves into and out of cell. That means those material which is required for the growth of bacteria, that are transferred towards the cell wall by the plasma membrane, and those waste material which is present in bacterial cell wall, that throughout the plasma membrane. So this is the structure or function of that plasma membrane. Then the fimbriae, as we know that the fimbriae, or which is called as a pili. So that fimbriae or pili means what? It is a small hair-like structure which is projected or emerge out from the cell surface. So this is called as an fimbriae here, which indicate here that fimbriae is indicated. Then they are specifically on those gram-negative cell. That means that fimbriae or small hair-like structure is mostly present in gram-negative bacteria, which having the or that fimbriae having the 2 to 3 nanometer in diameter and from 0.1 micrometer to several micrometer in length. That fimbriae, they occurs all over the cell. Next, the flagella. As we know that the flagella are made up of the typical type of protein known as the flagellin. The flagella, which consists of various points on the cell surface, or flagella that emerge out from the plasma membrane or cytoplasmic membrane. Then the flagella, what is the function of that flagella? The flagella, it's a hair-like structure that helps to bacteria for the movement from one place to another place. That flagella having a different type of parts, including monotrichous, here the monotrichous, lophotrichous, peritrichous, or amphitrichous or atrichous. So in previous lecture we already discussed about the types of flagella. That is, atrichous means what? The bacterial cell without flagella. Monotrichous means a single flagella is present to the bacteria. Lophotrichous means what? The bunch of flagella is present at single side of bacteria. Peritrichous means what? The flagella which is surrounded all over the body of cell wall or body of bacterial cell. So this is about the types of flagella. The next important part is called as a capsule. So capsule is one of the most outermost part of the bacterial cell. That capsule is made up of the different types of material. Mostly it is made up of the different types of sugars called as an polysaccharides. That capsule or that bacteria of single species can be classified in different capsules, servus or the serotype based on the fine chemical structure of that polysaccharides. So what is the function of that capsule? It protects the bacterial cell from the unfavorable climatic condition. So the protection of bacterial cell is the main function of capsule. Second function is there, if the waste material is present in bacterial cell, so they are, or the waste material or throughout the, or waste material which is present in bacterial cell is removed through the layer of capsule. Next one is intracellular structure. So till we discuss about the extracellular structure or external part, it includes the cell wall, cytoplasmic membrane and capsule and some part of the protoplast. Next one is intracellular on inner structure of bacterial cell. So in that, first one is plasmid. So the term plasmid was first introduced by the American molecular biologist called as Joshua Lederberg in 1952. So this is one of the most important term that is mostly asked in examination. A plasmid is nothing but it is short, usually circular and double stranded segment of DNA. So this is a typical structure of plasmid. That plasmid is mostly found in cytoplasm, separate from the main bacterial chromosome. Their size varies from 1 kbp to over 100 kilobase pair. So this is called as the plasmid. Here the structure of plasmid. The plasmids are capable of autonomous replication. That means plasmids replicate itself. So plasmid can transfer genes. That is the function of plasmid. That plasmid can transfer genes from one cell to another cell. So this is the function of plasmid. Then ribosomes, as we know that the cytoplasm contains a large number of solute low and high molecular weight substance, RNA, and approximately 20,000 ribosomes per cell is present. So bacteria have 70s ribosomes comprising of 30s and 50s subunit. The function of ribosomes as the synthesis of proteins. Next one is mesosomes. So mesosomes are minute structure or membranous bodies which visible under the electron microscope. They developed by the complex invasion of cytoplasmic membrane into the cytoplasm. The function of that mesosome is it is a compartment of DNA at cell division and at the sporulation. Then it having a function analogous to the eukaryotic cell because it providing the cell membrane support. That means provide the support to the plasma membrane or cytoplasmic membrane for the synthesis of the enzymes also. Next one is the nucleoid. The nucleoid is a region of cytoplasm where chromosomal DNA is located. It is not membrane bound nucleus but simply an area of the cytoplasm where the strands of DNA is found here. Next, the most bacteria have a single circular chromosome that is responsible for the replication, although some of the few species be having 2 or more replications. The smaller circular auxiliary DNA strands called plasmids are also found in the cytoplasm here. So this is the extra internal parts which includes the nucleoid, mesosomes, ribosomes, plasmids. So this is about the internal structures of bacterial cells. So if you have any difficulty in that topic, so please you can ask me. For better understanding, you should refer the book that is Bacteria in Biology, that is Biotechnology and Medicine, 4th edition by Paul Singleton. Or just go to the website that is www.structureofbacterialcell.com. So detailed information is available on that website. So again, if you have any difficulty in that topic, so you can ask me. Thank you.